Hello everyone and welcome to True Celebrity Stories. It's great to meet again. In today's video, we're going to show you what happened to Akon, from giving us the best R&B hits in the early 2000s to contributing to the growth of a whole continent. The man has kept himself prominent and busy over time, and we're going to share it all with you. But first, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the little notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Let's get started. Having a successful career in the early 21st century music industry was one of the toughest jobs at the time. You had to stand out. Being a singer with the voice of an angel and a songwriter with lyrics that could make anyone fall in love, there was no way Akon wasn't going to fly high in the industry. He may have been locked up, but they let his talent out. From his struggles, it's only right that he's recognized as an award-winning singer today. You may also know him as Akon, but do you know him as a fan should? I guess not. Allow me to change that. Born on April 16, 1973 in St. Louis, Missouri, Alioune Damala Badara Akon Thiam, aka Akon, is the son of a Senegalese Muslim father, Mor Thiam, and a dancer mother, Kain Guai Thiam. Akon spent 7 years of his childhood in Senegal, which he often refers to as his hometown, before moving to the United States. While in the United States, he lived with his family in New York, New Jersey, and at the time, he still moved between Senegal and the United States before his family finally settled in the States. When he got older, Akon and his older brother were left behind to fend for themselves, while the rest of the family moved to Atlanta, Georgia. His time in New Jersey helped him discover hip-hop for the first time, as well as the life of crime. He was eventually put in jail for 3 years, and while he was there, Akon used the time to explore his musical talent and songwriting skills. Upon his release, Akon was ready to show his talent to the world. Now this brings us to the start of his successful career. From mixing rhythms and smooth R&B vocals with buzzing hip-hop beats, Akon became one of America's top singers, producers, and entrepreneurs. His breakout came in 2004 with the single Locked Up from his debut album, Trouble. No need to run ahead of ourselves here. Now, remember, Akon began exploring his musical talents while he was still in jail. After he got out, he started writing songs and recording tracks in a home studio. But it wasn't until the tapes found their way to music mogul Devin Stevens that Akon talked about an actual career in music. Akon built a relationship with Stevens, where Stevens coached him to be a musician before signing him to his production company. With such talent, it wasn't long before SRC Universal Records blessed their ears with his sounds. When speaking about how the record label discovered Akon, Jerome Nobody Foster said, "What caught my attention right away was Lonely, and I said, this kid is official, this is a huge record." It didn't take long before the record label released Akon's debut album, Trouble. The mixture of West African-styled vocals and East Coast and Southern beats offered a new rhythm to the industry. The album featured some of the top hits like Locked Up, Lonely, Pot of Gold, Ghetto, and Belly Dancer, Bonanza. The song that made the album go platinum was Locked Up, as it hit Billboard Top 10 in the US and the UK. The success of Locked Up made Akon a star and the cake everyone wanted a piece of at the time. According to Akon, Locked Up tells the story of a drug runner who ends up locked up in jail. Although this wasn't the reason why he got locked up. In an interview with Clayton Perry on Blog Critics magazine, Akon revealed what inspired him to write the song Locked Up. He said, "Sitting there in jail, I thought, oh, my life can't be like this. There's gotta be another way. You know what I'm saying? That's when I even got the idea of making a record called Locked Up, creating a new vision for the future, like, when I get out, this is what I plan to do." It opened doors for other things that I wanted to do. Music was relevant at that point. That's when I knew exactly what time it was. It's safe to say Akon understood the business of making relevant music. 2 years later, and Akon was still rocking the industry hard. He released his second album, Convicted, and it didn't take a while before 2 songs on the album, I Wanna Love You and Smack That, climbed their way to the top Billboard charts. Just like his debut album, Trouble, Convicted had West African vocals mixed with East Coast and Southern beats. However, Akon turned things up in his third album, where he used a new tone. In his third album, Freedom, released in 2008, Akon applied a dance-oriented Europop sound. Despite the change in style, Akon's talent could not be denied. Freedom was just as successful on the Billboard charts. Right Now, Nah Nah Nah. Its most successful single reached the top 10 of the Hot 100. Akon was supposed to release his fourth album. The album was planned to be released in 2010. Sadly, due to a constant delay, the proposed album met its end, and it wasn't released at all. He released the single Angel later that year, and he also collaborated with Dr. Dre on the track Kush. Apart from his successful albums, Akon partnered up with some top musicians across the globe, including David Guetta, the worldwide smash Sexy Bitch 2009, Artist for Haiti, We Are the World 25 for Haiti 2010, Paradis, The Lonely Island, I Just Had Sex 2010, and close friend Michael Jackson, Hold My Hand 2010. He's had several major collaborations with top artists over the years. He, however, took a break from music and returned in 2019 when he announced that his label group, Akonic, will be releasing 4 studio albums in a different genre. In 2020, he released one of the albums titled Connect. According to sources, he'll release a follow-up album, Connection, in 2021. Enough of the career talk. I mean, we already know that he's one of the most successful artists of his time. But how about we get to the juicy part and talk about his love life? This is where the tea is at, people. Although he is legally known to be married to one woman, Akon has had run-ins with several women in the past, including 3 baby mamas. According to rumors and gossip, which I'll clarify in a minute, Akon has 4 wives. I mean, even if he did, the man was born a Muslim. It's totally acceptable. Akon had been quite vocal about his polygamous views over the years. While talking on Angie Martinez's show in 2006, he said, "I'm a polygamist. I can afford to have as many wives as I can afford to have. All Africans believe in it. My dad has 4 wives." Also, according to several articles released in 2013, he was married to casual dating. According to Akon, polygamy is more natural than monogamy. In an interview with TMZ, Akon said, "The whole purpose of dating is so that you can date this one and date this one and date this one until you find out, okay, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. Okay, now I commit to what's called marriage." So who are these women that Akon regards as his wives anyway? Tamika Thiam, Rachel Ritfeld, Trisha Anna, and Kelly Pittman. All of these women claim to be married to Akon, but only one of them, Tamika Thiam, is legally married to the singer. Tamika herself revealed this via her Instagram page. She made a post debunking her participation on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and her caption read, "I promise I am legally married to Khan. I'm a very private person, and if a fake wife is joining the show, it's definitely not the real wife. These wives, whoever they are, be all capping. It's definitely not me." Although very little is known about Tamika herself and her relationship with Akon, but it's been gathered that Tamika and Akon have been a couple for over 24 years. They have 4 kids together, and Tamika shares photos of their kids on her Instagram page. Among his 4 wives is Rachel Ritfeld, who, however, claims that she broke up with the singer. In an interview in 2007, Ritfeld said, "Akon was honest with me from the start, which never got in the way of our relationship because his wives live in various parts of the world." She mentioned that Akon was honest about his views on polygamy, but he loved her very much, and he always called her his lady, which made her think she'd be the one. The duo is not very much of a couple anymore, as Ritfeld realized that Akon wasn't her dream man. She said, "The one thing I wanted from Akon was for him to be monogamous to me, but he could not grant me my wish. Who's to say some other woman he meets won't capture his heart? I realized he wasn't the man for me." Now, Akon may not have been Rachel Ritfeld's dream man, but Trisha Anna dreamt about him for a while. She's a well-known urban model and A&R representative of Akon's label, Convict Music. According to reports, Trisha Anna became Trish Thiam when she married Akon in a private ceremony in Africa several years ago. The two were a couple for quite a while until she joined the Love and Hip Hop show. While on the show, Trisha Anna got entangled with her ex-boyfriend Mickey, and she revealed that she still had feelings for him. This caused a strain in her relationship with Akon and led to a breakup between the couple. After their breakup, Akon demanded to be taken out of every scene of the reality television show Love and Hip Hop, Hollywood. Trisha Anna has 4 kids, but none of them are Akon's, and apparently she's got back with her ex-boyfriend Mickey after her breakup with Akon. And next, we have Kelly Pittman. Now, Kelly wasn't upgraded to the wife status, she was just his girlfriend who had a son for him. There's more to Kelly than being Akon's baby mama. She's a life coach, former Miss US Globe, Miss Atlantic Ocean 2019, and a makeup and spray tan artist. There aren't many details about a relationship with Akon except that the two share a son. These 4 women have been rumored to be Akon's wives, but only one of these women have children for him. If we recall, I mentioned earlier that Akon said he had 6 children from 3 different women. So who is this third woman? Well, that's a mystery that hasn't been solved yet. She's the mother of Akon's son Mohammed Mo Thiam. Tamika Thiam is a mom, Aliwan Ali Thiam, Javor Thiam, Aliana Thiam, and Journey Thiam, while Kelly Pittman's child with Akon is Ty Thiam. The real truth about Akon's many wives lie in the fact that he's a polygamous man and he's open to taking in several women as his wives, whether or not he's only legally married to one. Akon believes that polygamy should be a common form of marriage. He said in an interview, if America adopted the polygamy culture, there would be fewer domestic disputes. The average guy in the world has a main girl and they got a side chick, and then they got a jump off. At the end of the day, as a male, we are natural breeders by nature. We can't even escape it if we wanted to. Akon has managed to keep himself and his family from paparazzi over the past decade, and the world hasn't heard so much from him. Many people claimed he disappeared from the fame radar, but that isn't what happened. Let's take a look. These days, Akon has kept himself busy with one project or another. His primary interest is in providing solar and electric power for countries in Africa. Akon Lighting Africa. In 2014, he partnered up with the political leader Theon and entrepreneur Samba Bathily. Together, they have provided electronic supply through the solar system for 25 countries in Africa. Benefits that came up with setting up such a significant portion of Africa's population with solar power included allowing outdoor vendors to stay open longer, children being able to study longer without having to use harmful kerosene lamps, and crime rates getting reduced due to once dark African villages now being illuminated via solar power. His main goal is to provide a stable power supply for almost every country in the continent by 2030. However, Akon has a bigger plan than providing electricity in Africa. He also seeks to help build the economy from a third world economy by promoting education and job creation across the continent. Powering over 600 million people in Africa through solar energy isn't the only goal on Akon's list. In August of 2020, he announced a new project, Akon City. The music superstar plans on building a city in his hometown, Senegal. Akon plans to build his city on a cornfield on 2,000 acres of coastal land given to him by the Senegalese government. According to the singer, he wants the buildings to look like real African sculptures made in the villages in Senegal, only this time they'll have modern details. He aspires for Akon City to be a self-sustainable smart city. Akon City has been pitched as a residential and commercial hub, complete with resorts, towering condos, recording studios, a stadium, and e-commerce franchises. The city will run on solar and wind energy to circumvent the country's unreliable power supply. In an interview with TMZ, Akon revealed that the city would have luxury condos, a beachfront resort, office parks, a university, and a hospital, all of which may be an hour or 2 flight away from anywhere in Africa. Akon City has raised $4 billion of its $6 billion goal. Akon said he could not name other business partners who signed non-disclosure agreements. Speaking about the funding, Akon plans for the city to run on its cryptocurrency, which he calls Akoin. The Akon City will run on Akoin, a new cryptocurrency currently piloted by the Grammy Award-nominated singer. When asked about Akoin at the 2018 Cannes Lion Festival in France, Akon said, "I think that blockchain and crypto could be the savior for Africa in many ways because it brings the power back to the people and brings the security back into the currency system. It allows the people to utilize it in ways where they can advance themselves and not allow governments to do those things that are keeping them down." The Akon City is said to be the first of its kind, 100% crypto-based city with Akoin at the center of transactional life. Providing electricity and building his city aren't the only things he has in mind for the future. Akon sees himself becoming a politician as well. He previously stated that he's thinking about getting into politics and said he was ready to take on President Donald Trump and Kanye West in the past 2020 elections. He already had a debate planned. Akon said, "It's gonna be entertaining, it's gonna be something worth watching." He explained, "I'm going to go after Trump and Kanye will get offended because he likes Trump, and he's going to go after me. Then I'm going to go after Kanye, and then Trump's going to get offended because he likes Kanye, and he's going to go after me. And the debate stage will be set where it's all about me. It's perfect, a master plan." He may not have participated in the 2020 elections, but he sure looks forward to playing a few games in politics in the nearest future. With all these projects on his hands, one can't help but wonder if the superstar is still rich and has a net worth to his name. Although he may be involved in several projects, the funding of these projects does not fall on him alone. He has several billionaires and millionaire investors backing him up. Anyways, Akon still has some millions to his name, and his recent net worth was estimated at $80 million. Akon was able to earn the bulk of his wealth from his music earnings such as album sales, touring, songwriting, and record producing. Akon's most financially successful years as a solo artist were between 2009 and 2012, which is quite huge as he had stopped releasing albums at that time. For instance, he earned $12 million in 2008 from his various endeavors, including his Convict album. The following year, the ghetto hitmaker raked in $20 million, followed by $21 million in 2010. His earnings somewhat declined in 2011, grossing $13 million that year. Akon is, however, still very wealthy, and his new business enterprises will certainly skyrocket his assets and his wealth. That's a wrap for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Now you know all there is to know about Akon, what he's doing, how he's doing it, and of course, his juicy marriage life. Let us know in the comment section if you think Akon's view on polygamy are valid. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for this channel. You don't want to miss out.